Okay, let's see if anyone's there. Hello?
She said I was the only one. I don't know if it's on Zoom and here or just here.
It might be because I don't see anyone here yet. Is anyone there? Mm-mm. Yeah, it's just us, but someone might hop on last minute, but we can start. Might as well have a nice yoga class. All right, so feel free to start. Can be either seated or on your back. And I'm gonna remove this since we're far enough apart. But if you get uncomfortable with it, tell me and I'll put it on. Yes, always happy to comply. And my hair obviously looks crazy. I was driving with the windows open. I was letting the wind blow through gray hairs.
Privilege to be able to do that.
It felt good. It wasn't too hot. All right. So feel free to close your eyes. Let's start with the meditation. So last night I went to bed and I did a Ram Dass meditation. I've been listening to his podcast called Here and Now. And they're old recordings of him talking about yoga and mindfulness. And so his whole approach is love. That's like always his focus. And so he talks about this like self-love. And so really just even that first piece of like registering, like how do I take up residency in my body? The physical energy, and just to feel that, the movement of the breath. And then we might begin to listen deeper, just even to that dialogue, that inner voice, and how we're very subtly communicating what we're feeling or what we're taking in, and how we talk to ourselves in regards to it. So just slow, useful breaths, maybe even deep belly breathing if you feel inclined. And then remaining upright in this nice way, sitting as tall as you can. We'll do 5 rounds of deep belly breathing. And if you wanted to place your hands on your belly, you can, just for reference. But if not, and you feel comfortable and you're in touch with your breath in that way, you feel comfortable and you can feel it, you can just let the hands rest wherever's good for you. And then just beginning the 5 count breath. So it's that 5 count in and 5 count out. And just until you get to 5 breaths, and then just letting the natural breath return yet again. And then let's increase the pranayama. So we'll do Ujjayi pranayama. And you can, after those 5 breaths, again, letting the natural breath return. There's no rush, just feeling your ebb and flow, but trying to keep that nice, upright, supported core. And then beginning to transition to the Ujjayi pranayama. So this one being the ocean sounding breath. In through the nose, out through the nose, a bit more shallow, more expansive circumferentially around the upper body. And just filling your lungs as much as you can to capacity, and even letting there be a natural pause between the in-breath and the out-breath. Trying to maintain a heavy seat as you breathe in, expand upward. And as you exhale, maintaining this feeling of lift and buoyancy. And then after the next exhalation, allowing the natural breath again to return. Just relaxing for a moment to feel the effects of your breathing exercise. How does the diaphragm feel this morning? Does it feel easy to breathe? A little challenge? What is the quality of breath? Okay, we'll do what's called a 3-part breath. This is called Viloma pranayama. So we do Ujjayi pranayama, but we breathe in to the navel and we pause. Then for like a split second, and we breathe up to the base of the sternum and we pause and hold that breath. And then we breathe up to the top of the throat, we pause and we hold that breath. And the breath slowly filters back out as one breath. So this is called, Viloma means to split hairs. So this is breath retention and splitting it in 3 parts. So as you're ready, we'll do 5 rounds again, just doing the best you can to keep track of that breathing. And if you get off track, that's okay. It's all about that loving kindness to gently redirect the awareness and re-steer the ship in that direction. So as you're ready, you can begin, and we'll breathe into the navel, and you pause and hold that belly in just a little. Breathe up to the base of the sternum, pause, and then up to the top of the throat. Pause, and then very slowly the breath filters. And there's even a pause there. Then you begin it over. Breath into the navel. And then one more. And then releasing that breath fully out and just letting the natural breath once again return. Just noticing the quality of your breath. Is that uncomfortable to try to breathe in that way where you control the breath a little or restrain the breath? And slowly taking a few deep belly breaths. And then if you'd like, you can bring your hands together in front of the heart and chanting the sound of Om together 3 times. Take a nice deep belly breath in. You can release your hands to your thighs and allow your eyes to slowly open. Okay, let's start in child's pose. So you can come onto your hands and knees and stretch forward. And if you want to use your blanket or anything underneath your hips or legs or forehead, and you can stretch the arms forward or back. And just nice elongated stretch through the torso. And then walking the arms over to the left, both arms can migrate. And just getting a nice side stretch out through that right waistline. And taking several deep breaths. And just really letting that right hip sit back, right outer hip kind of hang back as the torso, the ribs, the lungs stretch up and away. They reach and create that side body space. Inhale it all the way back to center and then over to the left. Two more deep breaths. And then bringing it back to center after that last breath. And then you're going to come forward and down onto the belly. So you'll rest all the way down onto the belly and then come up onto your forearms for a sphinx. And you can point the toes back, stay a little bit low to start. So the shoulders are, elbows are out in front of the shoulders, and you're just letting the back slowly warm up. And feel free even to take a few deep breaths. And then lower down to the belly, and you'll bring the toes under and then arms to a cactus. Yes, and we're going to try to retract back, shoulder blades toward one another, and lift up. And you can lift the head, the chest, and take deep breaths here. And you're really trying to go from the back body, so shoulder blades are squeezing. And exhale to release it. Place the hands, press back onto all fours, coming to a tabletop. And then taking a nice breath in, on the exhalation, rounding the back and coming to a cat pose, but pausing there and breathing into the back body. You can kind of wiggle around a little bit, like the hips swaying or into the shoulders slightly, just very gently. And then inhaling and lifting and opening the chest and taking a few breaths here. And then going between the two at your own pace. Exhaling to round, inhaling to open the chest or at whatever rhythm feels right to you. And then after your next exhalation and rounding, come back to a neutral spine. And then you'll level off at a tabletop and inhale the right arm forward and the left leg back once you're at center. And just taking deep breaths, exactly, letting the waistline lift back, shoulder lift back, and thigh, upper inner thigh. Good, exhale down and switch sides. So you're trying to find that stable grounding at the base and pulling that stability up, drawing on that stability into the core, drawing on that stability in the breath. Good, exhale to release it back to the first side. Inhale it out. Exhale to release, and then last side, second side. Not last time. Just for now. Good, exhale to release it. Then you'll come to a puppy pose. So you'll walk the knees back, arms will walk forward. Arms are just like down dog, so they have to be really strong. And then you're just trying to stretch at the upper body. So from the ribs back, from the ribs forward.
That feels good.
Doesn't it? It's like all that underside of the armpit chest. I even let my head come down sometimes. You can do that as long as it doesn't do stretching.
That's why dogs do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then inhale and come forward and down to your belly again. Oh yeah, cats and dogs, they all know. Okay, and then you're gonna bend your left knee and grab hold of the left foot for a gentle thigh stretch. Yeah, so you don't have to go too hard. You can even let the head just for the first one until all the muscles are more warm. I let the head rest down just till my back is fully warm. Good, and then exhale to release it and switch sides. And just deep breaths, lining the interior of the body, helping to create even a little bit of relaxation as you stretch. And exhale to release. Place the hands again, press up and back to the tabletop. Inhale the right arm out to the right, so you'll stretch, big stretch out. And then exhale and come to a twist, and you'll come on to that shoulder. And you can always adjust, you don't have to be directly into that arm, just where it feels like you can be comfortable, but get a little stretch. Inhale to untwist. And then placing that right hand down, inhale the left arm up. And then exhale and bring it through the chest. Good, inhale to untwist it. Then you're gonna step your right leg through from here for a low lunge to start. And then both hands can come to either side of the foot. You can always use blocks if you need blocks, or if you're feeling stiff and you need to go into it more slowly. So just as an alternative. And then letting the back round a little bit, and you can even kind of sway a little side to side, just with the stable legs, creating just a little bit of movement. You can even do this like chest open. Yeah. Let me make it a little easier.
A lot of years ago, I went.
Yeah, they're still in the butt stick.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, keep them, it'll
Yeah.
keep them in better condition. Okay, and then keeping your right hand on the block on the right, stretch the left arm up and over, press into your right. Yeah, it's so that stretch there. Good, then exhale it down, and you're gonna take the other hand, stretch it up, same thing. And you can even twist open if you want, like more of a twist. Okay, inhale it back to center, then you're gonna shift back just a little bit and bring that right leg towards straight. It doesn't have to come all the way straight. It certainly probably won't right away unless your hamstrings are nice and long. Some people just have longer hamstrings. And you create a little retraction there in the foot, maybe a little activity in the toes, just fire the muscles as you pull. And take a few deep breaths. Okay, then come back to a lunge, and you're gonna come up higher to a higher lunge. So again, you can use the blocks, you just go up one more step. Back leg nice and strong, chest can be open. Good, and then either step it back to downward facing dog, or you can go to puppy pose or child's pose, whichever you prefer. Feel free to walk the legs out a little bit. And you can shimmy the hips even, side to side. And then inhale forward to planking. You'll come through a vinyasa at your own pace. You can always do knees first. And then inhale to a cobra. Any height is good. And then making your way at your own pace back to down dog. And bring that left leg through, and we'll start with the back knee down. And just folding over the leg. And you can again kind of rock a little side to side. If that feels okay, just gentle kind of stretching into the hips.
I wasn't taking over credit for a few months. I was missing my toes getting stretched.
Yeah, I know, isn't that
It's
amazing?
like, because I don't have much of a home practice. But I really like to take that
Yes.
credit. And I thought, oh, my toes, they miss stretching.
I was thinking about that, helping people with their home practice. It's really true. It's hard to keep it going, especially while you're home all the time.
I just don't focus. You know, it's just, some people seem to be okay. I think to me, I just don't focus.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. Class, I'm got my attention.
Yeah, you like having it's like a direction.
Yeah.
It's easier, so I think too. Okay, and then you're gonna keep your left hand on the block, and then right arm will come up and over it. Yeah, me too. I have a much harder time at home keeping focused, although I do like to practice at home. Good, then release it down, and then you can inhale the left arm up, and these are just going same thing, crescent or twist. Maybe a little bit of both. Then inhale to untwist it, and then you're going to shift back and bring that front leg straight. Okay, and then come into a higher lunge, stepping that back leg in. And just taking a few breaths here, making the legs nice and strong, legs holding you up. Good, and this time step forward to the front of your sticky mat, with the blocks or without them. Legs can be straight or slightly bent. Inhale to lengthen forward. Exhale to fold in. We're doing this several times, just like cat-cow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold this long, smooth breath. Good, then stepping the left leg back. Place that left heel down, and you can either bring your right forearm to your thigh or right hand to your block, to the outside of the foot. Yeah, and I like to go to the highest, especially if I'm used to going to my thigh. Then left arm will come just straight up for today. Take several deep breaths. Slowly shift back to a straight leg and come to triangle pose. So that block can come back to the outer knee or top of the outer shin, like bringing it closer if you need to you, or lower down. And then bringing the right leg towards straight. So you're trying to push down into the foundation to try to draw the legs as straight as you can. And if not, you get a resistance. It's okay. Keep a little micro bend.
I get leg cramps when I do yoga.
Do you?
It's funny, I would think would be the opposite. My cramp, I really stress sometimes, nothing right now, I don't know.
Oh, like after not stretching for a bit.
I know, not necessarily, no. When I stretch and go, I think it would be the opposite. I get cramps sometimes.
In your feet or just your
No,
legs?
my legs,
Hmm.
my feet once in a while.
Maybe the muscles are overworking.
I don't know what they are.
They might be. That used to happen to me in my legs, my
Surprisingly,
feet.
class on my body. Because they would say the remedy is to stretch them. Yeah.
Yeah, or to activate the muscles more, like work the muscles more. Okay, exhale it down to a lunge, and we're going to step it back to a down dog, and you can either take a vinyasa or a child's pose, whatever you'd like, just to create more movement and or a pause. And then inhaling up and back. And then walk forward to the front of your mat again. Good, inhale halfway and lift and lengthen. And this time stepping the other leg back. So you're gonna go left leg forward, right leg back, heel. And then come to side angle. So you'll bring the block to the outside of the foot. Top arm can come up. You just want to try to track the knee with that big toe or second toe. Looks good. Just deep breaths. And start to shift that front leg straight and come to triangle pose. So you're pushing down, rooting the stretch back. Good, and then exhale it back to a down dog. If you want to take a vinyasa, you can. And then once done with the vinyasa, come to a child's pose. So you can do knees together, knees apart. And then you can make your way to your belly again. You're gonna come all the way down to the belly. And then we'll interlace the fingers behind the back. Toes can point back. And then all at once, inhaling the arms up, the legs up, Shalabhasana. And taking slow, filtered Ujjayi pranayama breath. And then exhale to release. Take your right arm out to the right, palm face down. You're going to draw the arm bone in the front of the shoulder back a little bit, like a little retraction, then roll towards that right shoulder. The head can either rest down or on a block or on a blanket. And you're trying to get a stretch at the front of that shoulder, the front of the chest. The top leg can even come back and behind you if you wanted. Inhale it back to center and then roll toward the other arm. So you go left arm out, shoulder blade retracts or shoulder retracts back a little bit. And then you roll towards it. On the top leg, of course, yeah, can come over. Okay, inhale it back to center. And then we're going to do something a little more passive. You're going to go right leg up and the leg to it, yeah. And then you just rest forward and just till you feel like, okay, I get a stretch in that inner thigh. It's just more of a gravitational stretch. Yeah, me too. It's like funny because you don't think you'd get a stretcher, but you do just even be passive like this. Especially if you don't take the shape very often, you know. Then you'll bring that right leg back and you can switch legs. Bring the left leg forward, feel free to change position of the head. And just letting the weight fall to that side and notice the difference even side to side, how that feels turning to the one side. Bring it back to the center again. And then you're going to place, let's take the arms back one more time. Put the hand palms face down. And then another Shavasana. You'll inhale to lift. Lifting the shoulders back. Head can lift, legs can move. Just take a deep breath. Okay, exhale to release. Press back into all fours, and then you're going to come to pigeon pose. So right or left leg forward first. You can even do it from a down dog if you want. Yes. And then letting yourself settle in and come forward as you're ready. And so one thing I like to do here is I use the block. I can show you from my forehead. It's one of my most favorite things to do in pigeon. Is this. And it just takes that like weight of the head out of the equation. Start to come back up, right? You're gonna pause in an upright position, leaning the block if you want. So you're just trying to get the chest more open. Maybe you might even take a 5 stretch if you feel. And the next step's a release, and you can switch sides, however you like, either seated, sitting, or going to a down dog, or all fours. And coming up right for breath or two. Can you take a 5 stretch? And then coming back to downward facing dog. Just one more stretch out. Again, feel free to take one last vinyasa if you'd like, or one last cobra. And then walk forward to the front of your sticky mat. Exhale to fold over the legs. Take a few breaths here. You can hold elbow to elbow. Keep a little bend in the knees. Let the torso hang. The head hang heavy. Shoulders round a bit. And then interlace the fingers behind the back and draw the shoulder blades toward one another, down away from the neck as you stretch the chest. And then exhale as you release the arms, inhale, lengthen forward. And then exhale all the way down, and you'll come down onto your back. So you can lie back and draw the knees into the chest. And give yourself a little squeeze, and you can rock a little from side to side. And then placing the feet on the ground, keep your block nearby. And you're going to lift the hips for bridge. So the feet are placed for bridge. And then take the block at the lowest height and place it underneath your sacrum and your hips. So closer to the tailbone, not on the lower back, not on the lumbar curve. And then just pause here. You can even close the eyes. The arms can come into any position. We're going to add a few stretches, but first we'll do like just a minute of a little restorative. So we pulse in and out of these places of aware of our consciousness, aware of our awareness, and unaware of it. And the body feels that way. The mind can feel that way. And so it's like bringing the light, awareness, conscious awareness to those places that don't feel good, for all the feelings, and to bring attention, energy. And compassion. Okay, draw the right knee in. Hold on to the right knee, and you can stretch the left leg along the floor. You can stretch it out and release that left foot. Yeah. And just let the front of that thigh release. Left leg is relaxed. And then stretch the right leg up, and you can hold the back of the right leg as you stretch it forward straight. Yeah. And then exhale to release it. Place the right foot down on the ground to start. Draw the left knee in. And then slide the right leg out. Okay, stretch the leg up towards straight. Deep breaths. Okay, and then releasing the left leg down, bend the right knee back, and then you'll lift the hips and turn the block up a little higher. One notch higher, yes. And then again, you can close the eyes, this time bring the arms overhead, stretching the arms up and back. And then just relaxing here. And then pressing strong into the feet. Lift the hips. You can bring the arms back. Keep the hips lifted. Remove the block. And you'll interlace the fingers underneath you and take an active bridge pose. So take 5 deep breaths. And then slowly release it all the way down. And you'll roll to your right and gently press up to seated just to grab the blocks. And you're going to place the blocks for a shoulder opener. So I usually like to do one for my head, one for my back. So going under the shoulder blades, across the lower tips of the shoulder blades. So you don't want to go too high. You also don't want to go too low. So you can play around with it. And you can always lower the block down or raise the other block up. And then the chest can open and you'll go arms to cactus or arms to shavasana arms. Legs can come into any position. Get knees, maybe knees together. Okay, and then rolling to your right hand side again, gentle. This can be a bit intense on the back. And then you just remove the blocks and lie back down. And then taking the arms out to a T, bring the knees up to the chest, to a right angle. You can even flex the feet and then lower the knees off to the right. Yes. Take a passive twist. You can relax into it. If you wanted to extend the top leg out, you can stretch a little more hamstring, outer hip. Okay, inhale it back to center. And then over to your left, or yeah, over to the left side. Inhale it back to center. You can draw both knees into the chest and rock a little from side to side. Maybe grab hold of the soles of the feet for a happy baby. And then taking any kind of shavasana that you'd like. If you want to do legs up the wall, you can, or legs over a blanket and blocks, so they're slightly elevated. You could also just do like a regular shavasana, maybe with a few seconds of a Baddha Konasana, or just even straight up. Sometimes I like to try to just work my shavasana the littlest bit, just so I'm fully relaxed and my back is relaxed against the ground. I might even adjust my head and neck a little bit. Giving a little extra length. Palms either face in or face up. Using your breath to lengthen the feet. Begin to stretch out. And then rolling to your right or left hand side. Okay. Short rest. Like we began, let's finish with one Om together. If you'd like, you can bring your hands down to the mudra. Just taking a deep, full breath. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, Chrissy. Have a wonderful day.
So you're smiling.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I got to see it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll smile behind you.
I know, that's a